You're staring at a trade that's down $400. Your chest tightens, your jaw locks, and a voice in your head whispers, "It'll come back. Just hold." So you hold, and it drops to 600, then 800, and now you're not even trading anymore. You're praying. Here's the thing. That voice, it's not your instinct. It's not experience. It's a glitch. A 2-million-year-old glitch in your brain that was designed to keep you alive on the savannah, and it is destroying you in the markets. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works, why almost no one talks about it honestly, and, more importantly, how to rewire it. Let me ask you something. Think about the last time you closed a winning trade. You probably took profit pretty fast, right? Maybe you even felt a little rush, a small hit of satisfaction. Now think about the last time a trade went against you. You didn't close it fast, did you? You waited. You watched it bleed. Maybe you moved your stop loss further away. Maybe you deleted the stop entirely. And here's the part that should terrify you. You didn't choose to do that. Not really. Because if I offered you a coin flip, heads you win $1,000, tails you lose $1,000, most of you watching right now would say no, even though it's mathematically fair, even though the expected value is 0. Something inside you screams that losing $1,000 hurts more than winning $1,000 feels good. You're not broken. You're not undisciplined. You are experiencing one of the most powerful cognitive biases ever documented in human psychology. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand it so well that it will never have the same power over you again. But first, I need to tell you about an experiment that changed everything we thought we knew about human decision-making, and what they revealed is genuinely unsettling. In 1979, two psychologists, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, published a paper called Prospect Theory, an analysis of decision under risk. It went on to win Kahneman the Nobel Prize, and what they discovered was this. Human beings do not experience gains and losses equally. They ran experiments, hundreds of them, and the pattern was always the same. The pain of losing $1 is roughly twice as intense as the pleasure of gaining $1. Not a little more painful, twice. Let that land for a second. Your brain literally processes $100 loss with the same emotional weight as a $200 gain. The scales inside your head are rigged. They have always been rigged. And this isn't a personality flaw. This isn't about being emotional or weak. This is hardwired. It's called loss aversion, and it exists in virtually every human being ever tested, across cultures, across ages, across levels of expertise. Now, here's where it gets interesting for traders specifically. Kahneman and Tversky also discovered something called the reflection effect. When people are in a gaining position, they become risk-averse. They want to lock in the win, grab the sure thing. But when they're in a losing position, they suddenly become risk-seekers. They'll gamble. They'll double down. They'll hold a losing position through catastrophic drawdowns because the possibility of getting back to break even feels more tolerable than the certainty of crystallizing the loss. Read that again. When you're winning, you play it safe. When you're losing, you roll the dice. This is the exact opposite of what profitable trading requires. And here's what almost nobody in the trading education space will tell you, which I think is the most important part of this entire video. Loss aversion isn't just about money. It never was. When you're holding a losing trade and you can't make yourself close it, the money is almost secondary. What you're really protecting is something far fragile, your identity. Think about it. The moment you close a losing trade, it becomes real. It moves from unrealized to realized. It moves from the column of things that might still work out to the column of things I got wrong. And your brain, your ancient pattern-obsessed threat-detecting brain, interprets that not as a financial event, but as a status event. You got it wrong. You were wrong. And on some deep pre-verbal level, being wrong feels like being vulnerable. It feels dangerous. There's a researcher named Matthew Lieberman at UCLA who put people in brain scanners and found that social rejection and financial loss activate the same neural circuitry as physical pain, the same regions. the anterior cingulate cortex, your anterior insula. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference between losing money and being punched. So when you're sitting there staring at that red number, paralyzed, unable to hit the close button, you're not being greedy, you're not being stupid. Your brain is running a pain avoidance program that's older than language, older than money, older than markets. And here's the part that makes this truly insidious. Every second you hold that losing trade, your brain rewards you with relief. You didn't close it. The pain didn't happen. You're safe for now. That relief is a microdose of dopamine. It feels like the right decision. It feels like patience. It feels like conviction. But it's not any of those things. It's avoidance wearing the mask of strategy. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, okay, so how do I actually fix this? Stay with me, because the solution is not what you think. It's not about willpower. It's not about being tougher. It's about something much more fundamental. Let me paint two scenarios. Tell me if you recognize yourself in either. Scenario 1. You enter a long position. It immediately goes your way. Up 50, up 80, up 100. And you feel that tingle of anxiety. What if it reverses? What if I give it all back? So you close it. $100. Nice. Clean. You feel good for about 10 minutes. Then you watch it run another 300 points without you. You made money, and you still feel like you lost. Scenario 2. You enter a position. It drops. 20, 40, 60 against you. Your stop is at 100. It hits 95, and you move the stop. You tell yourself you're giving it room to breathe. It drops to 200 against you. Now you're in no man's land. You can't close it because the loss is too big to accept. You can't add to it because you know that's reckless. So you just sit there, frozen, watching. And when it finally hits your breaking point, maybe 300-400 down, you close it in a state of emotional exhaustion. Then you revenge trade to try to make it back. Sound familiar? Both of these scenarios are loss aversion in action. In the first, you cut your winner short because you were terrified of the potential loss of unrealized gains. In the second, you held your loser because closing it would mean converting a psychological maybe into a definitive no. And here's the data that should shake you. A landmark study by Terence O'Dean at UC Berkeley analyzed 10,000 individual brokerage accounts and found that investors were 50% more likely to sell a winning position than a losing one. 50%. And the winners they sold? They went on to outperform the losers they kept by an average of 3.4% over the following 12 months. People were literally selling their best ideas and keeping their worst ones. Not because they lacked information, not because they lacked intelligence, because their brains were wired to avoid the pain of a realized loss, even when holding guaranteed a bigger one. So the question becomes, what do you actually do about this? Here's the reframe that changed everything for me, and I want you to really sit with this. A loss is not the opposite of a win. A loss is the cost of playing. Read that again. Every business has operating costs: rent, payroll, materials. A restaurant doesn't shut down because it had to buy flour this month. The flour is the cost of making bread. In trading, your losses are the flour. They are not failures. They are expenses. The moment you internalize that, truly internalize it, not just nod at it, something shifts. You stop asking, how do I avoid losses? And you start asking, how do I manage my costs? And that is an entirely different psychological game. Here are 3 things you can do starting today. 1. Pre-commit to your exit. Before you enter any trade, write down the exact price at which you will exit if it goes against you. Write it physically, on paper, in a journal, in a note on your phone. This engages your prefrontal cortex, the rational, planning part of your brain, before the amygdala hijacks the decision. The research on implementation intentions by Peter Gollwitzer shows that pre-commitment increases follow-through by over 200%. 2. Reframe the loss before it happens. Instead of thinking, if I lose $200, I've failed, think, I'm paying $200 to test this idea. You're a scientist running an experiment. Some experiments confirm your hypothesis, some don't. Both produce valuable data. And 3, track your decision quality, not your P&L. After every trade, ask yourself one question: did I follow my process? If you followed your process and lost money, that is a good trade. If you broke your process and made money, that is a bad trade. Over time, this rewires your brain's reward system to value discipline over outcomes, and that is the single most powerful shift a trader can make. Loss aversion isn't your enemy, it's a feature of your biology. You can't delete it. But once you see it, really see it, it stops driving the car. You do. If this hit different for you, if something in this video made you rethink the way you're approaching your trades, drop a comment below and tell me, what's the worst loss you've held on to, and what story were you telling yourself while you held it? I read every single comment. And if you want more of this, the psychology behind why traders actually lose, not the technical analysis nonsense everyone else is selling, subscribe and hit the bell. This is just the beginning. I'll see you in the next one. Good trading.